Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and I want you to check out Bondy's Boutique and get some of my merch, y'all. I've added some new things like my mermaid cups and the mermaid tees, and also the Shake Them Tits mugs. All right, you asked for it and you got it. Check out Bondy's merch at Bondy's Boutique. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another This Is Us review, you guys. This was the season finale for season 3. This episode was so intense and so good, and I just love this show. I love the writers. I think they do a fantastic job. I love the actors. I love every inch of This Is Us. Like, I really do. So I want to get into the show from Tuesday, last night. The only thing, y'all, is that because of the way they did the time periods this time, we were actually in the future. It wasn't just the past and the present anymore. We actually had a full, like, couple of scenes dealing with the future that we were, flashed at the beginning of this season. We saw that Beth was going to have this ballet school. We saw her there. We didn't know if her and Randall was still together. We saw Randall and Tessa. We knew they were going to the hospital to see someone. We didn't know who they were going to the hospital to see, and that took a time for them to give us that entire picture. Toby's gonna be there, like Toby's sleeping in a bed alone. We don't know what's going on there. Where's their kid? Like, it's a bunch of shit. It's a bunch of shit. So yeah, y'all, let's get into this. So I'm gonna start with present day, and then I'm gonna go to the past, and then I'm gonna go to the future. Like, I don't know if it makes sense. Okay, so Beth is getting the kids ready for school in the morning, and Randall is in Philly still. The kids are starting to notice the friction between Beth and Randall. Like, they're starting to see it. He comes home that morning to see the kids off and stuff because he has to, run errands with Deja. Has to drop Deja off to practice for the debate team. And I'm like, oh, okay, look a little Deja out here trying to get into, okay? They need to talk. They obviously need to talk. They didn't sleep together, that night. They need to talk about this argument that they had. But Beth isn't seeing a way out of their issues right now. She's not seeing the door. There's always a door that leads them to, the other side of something. And at this point, she's not seeing how they're going to rectify this situation right now. So Deja lets Randall know during their drive to her class that she's noticed that Beth and Randall aren't talking, and he's just kind of like, oh, like made uncomfortable by the fact that it's now apparent to the kids that something is wrong. Kevin and Zoe are coming over to babysit Annie and Tessa so that Beth can rush off to her dance class. Don't even have time to, throw an insult Kevin's way or anything. Just, thanks guys, all right, bye, gotta go. And Tessa tells Kevin up in her room that her parents are too busy fighting to notice that she's kind of going through a little something right now. She needs to go shopping. She got asked to a dance or something like that. But she feels that because her mom is working so much, everybody's stressed out, she doesn't have time to deal with her issues. And I'm like, as a kid, you shouldn't feel like that. But that just shows a lot of self-awareness for such a young child. Tessa is in the process of finding herself, and she feels lost. She's like, I don't know what type of clothes to wear to show who I am. Like, she's just trying to figure out who she is. And Kevin tells her that you will figure it out one day. You just don't figure it out all at once. And when he said that, I was like, damn, that's pretty much how it is. Like, I feel like I've been the same person my entire life. Like, I've always been this person, but there were things that happened along the way that solidified it and put me more in cement about the person that I am. And there are times when I wonder if I've fallen off, or, just in my mind, I go to a negative place about where I might be in my life and questioning it all. But then for the most part, the clarity comes right back. Someone talks to me, says something, sees something, hears something that puts it back into perspective for me to realize that everything that has already happened is proof that more will happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the way it feels for me. And I didn't figure that out all at once. It came in pieces. And the way he said that to her really explained it in such a way that a young kid could understand. So Beth is teaching and she just finished her class with the moms. And the lady comes over and is like, hey, somebody called in, can you cover a Sunday class? And she was like, yeah, sure, I can cover it. And she was like, you know, it's just like for, you know, drunk, can't dance moms who want to try to lose 20 pounds that they'll never lose. And the shade of it all caught her off guard. And she was like, is that what I'm doing? Like, it then all of a sudden became a moment of revelation for Beth, because she figured out that this ain't it, basically. Like, and it was a pivotal moment in the lives of Beth and Randall. And watching this show, y'all, watching this show, the way things affect your life, the way the decisions you make and how you deal with the issues in your life affects other things down the line, like until you die. Everything that you do is in some way affecting what the future of your life will be. And it's just crazy how all these small decisions in the long run turn into these huge things in our lives. Like, him deciding to ask Beth out in college leads to both of them finding the person that completes their situation. Like, the thing we learn the most from Beth and Randall is that they are better together than they are apart. So back to Randall and Deja in the car. Deja says that Randall is not the only person who can take someone on a long car ride to give a great speech at a meaningful location. I said, oh girl, you so eloquent. And they get to this old house, and she's standing outside the house, and she says, this is Mr. and Mrs. Johnson's house. And she explains how, you know, every foster home comes with something. But this was the foster home where they starved you. She said, every night, I would share a can of soup with 4 or 5 people and watch Mr. and Mrs. Johnson spend all of the government stipend money on alcohol and lottery tickets, and they wouldn't feed us. And I can remember one time we stole one of the tickets, and we were, you know, talking about it, how if we won, we were gonna get us some burgers and some fries and dip them in the shakes. And I'm like, yes for the fries and the shakes, okay? Yes for the fries and the Frosties, okay? We do that with the Rally's fries or the Checkers fries, yes, okay? Like, oh my God, my child. And they didn't win. And she says that's because nobody, you know, most people don't win, not nobody. Most people don't win. But you won, Randall. You won the lottery twice. The first time when you got adopted, and the second time was when you found Beth. You need to fix this. And I don't know what you need to do, but you need to fix it. So Rebecca is at the hospital with Toby and Kate. And Kate doesn't look happy. Like, Kate looks completely annoyed by Rebecca's presence. And the fact that Rebecca wants to talk about, you know, what she should have inside her apartment while they're sitting in the NICU with the baby. And the doctor comes in, and they take the little baby off the ventilator so that Jack can breathe on his own. And she's giving out, you know, advice and telling them that the baby will stop breathing at some point because he will forget to breathe. And when he forgets to breathe, just tap him on the foot and he'll start breathing again. But the machines will go off to let the nurses know, and someone will come right in. Rebecca pulled out her notebook and was kind of holding up the conversation, and that was making Kate upset because the doctor can be called off at any moment. And then after she explains, Rebecca is asking questions and how to spell shit, and Kate is getting increasingly annoyed. Oh my God, Mom, like, stop, please. And I was like, I understand her aggravation, but at the same time, Kate does this thing where her jealousy of her mom makes her not appreciate how amazing and how loving her mom is. And this is one of those moments. Yeah, I try so hard not to be that person because I feel like my mom is like this too. I've seen my mom suck snot out of a baby's nose so that it can breathe. Like, at a moment when one of them little things wasn't working good enough, she said it don't work good enough. It didn't get everything out. I sucked it out with my mouth, spit it out into a napkin. Okay, I'm like, this baby ain't dying on my watch. Okay, how about that? My mom says, how about that all the time, y'all. I can't take it. I can't take it, y'all. But I'm just saying, my mom is a real one like that too. My mom has jumped into pools to save my sister from drowning with the cigarette still in her mouth when she got out the pool. This was back in the day when she smoked. She don't smoke no more. But anyway, back to this. I'm just saying, I understand Kate and I get it, but she gotta stop, y'all. She gotta stop. So just like the doctor said, the baby does stop breathing at some point, and Kate runs off to call the nurses. She panics. She turns back around to go back to the baby, and her mom says, it's okay, he's breathing now. I tapped his foot like the doctor said, and he just woke up, and it's okay, you know. And Kate is pissed, okay? Kate is pissed. She says, well, maybe if you weren't driving me crazy with your notebook and all of your questions and taking up time with the doctor, then maybe I would have remembered. I would have not panicked. Like trying to blame her mom for the fact that she panicked and didn't do what the doctor told her to do and ran off to go get a nurse. And I think that what she doesn't understand, because she says this to Rebecca in such a mean, nasty way, and I'm like, what you don't understand is that your mom gonna be the person. Your mom is going to be the person, okay? Like, she gonna be the one. She's moving to LA to help you, and you're going to need the help. So please, okay, please stop. Rebecca's feelings are obviously hurt, so she gathers her things and says she's going back to Kate's apartment. When Kate gets back to the apartment, her mom is already like, Kate, I'm sorry if I overstepped my boundaries. And Kate is like, no, Mom, no. It's my own insecurities. I feel like I will never be half the mother you are because you are so magical. And I'm just scared that I won't ever be able to have that level of magic that you have with my son. I will never be a mom like you are a mom. And when she said that, Rebecca was like, that's the nicest thing anybody has ever said to me. And they hug and they cry, and you know, they bring the baby home at the end of the episode. And I was just like, oh, I hope the baby doesn't die. Like, y'all, I hope the baby doesn't die. But the fact that Toby shows up alone with no kid and no Kate, it's just, I don't know what to think, y'all. And the way Toby looked all depressed and shit, and the way he talked to Randall, it just made me feel like Kate died and the baby died. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm so confused right now, y'all. I can't wait for next season for them to clarify some of these things for us. They're always leaving us on a cliffhanger. This is us. So then Rebecca in the past, okay? Rebecca in the past gets into a car accident. She picked up some peaches from the store. You know, you stop, the shit falls on the floor. She looks in front of her, doesn't see anybody, bends down to pick up the peaches, and when she comes back up, there's a car in front of her, smash, okay, right into the car. Jack rushes to the hospital to meet her. The kids come to the hospital later on, and you know, Rebecca is high on meds and shit, and the kids are scared and worried. Her arm is broken in 2 places. She has bruises and cuts all over her face. And the kids are taken aback, but she tells Jack, don't stay the night with me, take the kids home, y'all get a good night rest, I'll be here doing the same thing. So back at home, the kids are stressing Jack the fuck out, asking questions like, is mom gonna die? Is mom gonna have brain damage? Is mom gonna be able to remember us when she comes home? Like, just all of these crazy questions, stressing him out, you know, making their fear even worse. It was just annoying. And then he made them corn sandwiches, and I was like, oh honey, that's not bad. I don't even feel, is that better than butter sandwiches, y'all? I don't even know, because I feel like they say corn is not even that good for you. He can't take it anymore, so he takes the kids to the hospital and gives the nurse, who is too tired to give a damn, a long speech about how they do not do good without their mom. They do not do good without Rebecca. This is not going to work without his wife. The kids can't even sleep without his wife. They need to go in there. And she says, okay, look, all right, just go in there and be quiet until it's actually visitors time, okay, please? So back to Beth and Randall. So Randall and Deja get some burgers and fries, like in her story, because she was hungry after she told it. And then Randall called his campaign manager, Jaywan, and asked him to talk him through resigning. And of course, Jaywan is like, you're going to have to pay the taxpayers are going to have to pay for another election, and you're going to have to write a formal resignation, but you're going to basically be satisfying people's fears that you weren't 100% committed to this community. And it's stressful. He doesn't know what to do. When Beth gets home from work, Randall tells her that he's going to resign. He also tells her everything that happened with Deja and the kids knowing what's going on. And he tells her that he's decided he's going to resign. And she says, you're not going to do that. You know, you're not going to do that. And it was because earlier that day she had went, well, right before she met with him, she had gone to look at different spaces because she says, we're moving to Philly and I'm gonna open my own studio in Philadelphia. We're gonna do this thing. And he was like, how are we gonna do this? And she was like, we're gonna sell this house. We're gonna cut back. You know, we're gonna live in something that's more accommodating, and we're gonna make it happen. And then we see them, you know, packing up the house to leave and everything. And I'm like, wow, this is such a huge, you know, they got married in that house. They raised their kids in that house. Like, you didn't ever think they were going to leave that house. That house has the, you know, forever feel to it, the we inherited feeling to it. But they was like, nah, honey, we gotta go to Philadelphia and make this life work, because we ain't good without one another. And if we stay here, it ain't gonna be us. And I'm guessing that she realized that she didn't want to spend her time teaching old ass women how to dance, because there's nothing they can do with that. They can do it, they can be healthy, they can enjoy it, but it's not the same thing as giving that to a child who can turn that into a passion and a career. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, they make it work. And I was so happy. I was so happy. So y'all, Kevin tells Zoe his mom didn't want kids. And, you know, they've been having this conversation throughout the episode about how, you know, the kid situation. Kate, I'm sorry, not Kate, y'all. I'm sorry. Zoe doesn't want children. But the time she spent with Annie and Tessa made Kevin feel like she would be a great mother and he would be a great father. And I'm like, y'all being aunties and uncles do not mean y'all gonna be good parents, Kevin. But I understand where you're coming from, and I think y'all will be good parents too. But it's not what Zoe wants. But he's trying to change her mind. So he tells her that his mom changed her mind and that she could possibly do the same thing. And when he gets home, she says, look, I know you think you made your choice, but you made the wrong choice. And she leaves him. She leaves him. She takes her stuff and moves out of his place, and it's over between Kevin and Zoe. And I'm sad about it, but I know that he has to get what he wants and needs in life, and having children is a huge part of life. And for some people, they choose not to do that. That's great, but it's hard to love someone who doesn't want the same things you want. So this was just sad to have to watch, y'all. So let's go to the future. All right, let's go to the future. Beth in the future, okay, at her dance school, they are going to Randall's mom's. She asked her assistant to get a board game out of her office or something like that. Randall, Beth, and Tessa and Toby show up to what seems to be Kevin's beautiful, you know, woody looking house that has, you know, high technology and all of that. Everybody is about, you know, Beth and them look like they're supposed to be in their 50s, but they look too old for how these black folks will actually look when they do get older. That's why I was like, why they got them looking like they 70? They probably like 50 or 60 at this point. So this is probably like 20, I would say about 20 or 30 years in the future. So that would mean Rebecca is in her 60s in present time. So in 20 or 30 years, she's gonna be 80 or 90 years old, and they would be from 50 to 60. Toby shows up to Kevin's house alone, like I told y'all. And then we see Kevin's son. Kevin isn't there yet, but his son is running around, and his son seems to be 10 or 13 years old. So it seems as if Kevin did eventually get children. Randall walks down the hall to see Rebecca lying in like a hospital bed in the back of Kevin's house, and Nikki is there sitting with her. And I'm like, how the fuck old is Nikki? Like, so Nikki gotta be like 5 to 10 years younger than Rebecca and Jack, right? So I'm guessing that he's probably in his, like, if they're in their 50s and they got them looking old like that, then he's probably in his 70s and Rebecca is probably in her 80s. So I think that's where we at with this time frame. So Rebecca done lived a long time, y'all. Kevin was at the store, so Kevin is still, you know, alive. So Kevin, his kid, we don't know if he has an old lady or anything like that. We just see his son there. We don't know if there are any other children. We don't know what happened to Deja and Annie, why they're not there. And Tessa is the only child of Beth and Randall's that's there. And where the hell is Kate and Lil Jack? Questions to ask for the upcoming season. I cannot wait for it to start. It's going to be a whole year. I'm so sad about that. Or what is it, like 9 months or something like that? But yeah, y'all, It was so good. I enjoyed it so much. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget about Scentbird. Scentbird. I smell good, bitch. Okay, don't forget about it. All right, link down below in the description box. Before we go, is there anything that I want to say that I haven't already said? No. All right, then we're good. I love y'all. See y'all in the next one.